Welcome back. For the next couple of videos, we'll break down the candidate dashboard, starting off with the onboarding pages. So if you go to Webflow and scroll all the way down to App, Candidate, and Onboarding, this is where all your onboarding pages will be. Starting off with the first step, if I just go over to the form over here, you'll be able to see that this form has the attribute of data ms form equals profile. And this is to send all of the profile information to Memberstack. All of these input fields have the attribute of the data ms member and the custom field set inside of Memberstack. Inside of Memberstack, you'll be able to see all of your custom fields over here. So those that have the C in front of them, so professional headline, bio, LinkedIn link, and so on, these are custom fields for candidates. Those that have R in front of them are custom fields for recruiters, and then C and R are both for candidates and for recruiters. Going back to the onboarding page, when you click on the onboarding form again, over here, this onboarding form redirects to the next step. So on submission, so when they click next, they will then be redirected to step 2 of the onboarding process. Step 2 of the onboarding process is to ask again for job preferences for a candidate, anything from their job type to their skills. For the skills, this is the only time where we are using the Webflow CMS, and it's just to house all of the skills and to make it easier for you as well when it comes to inputting different types of skills. So for skills, if you go to your CMS, you'll be able to see the skills over here, and it's the basic setup of just the skill name and the slug. For adding more skills to your onboarding form, you need to make sure that the skills that you add here, everything from the capitalization and how it's typed, you add them inside of Airtable as well. So over here, skills, and you make sure that you add the same skills over here, and that's because Make is going to look for the skills that were selected inside of Webflow and reference them inside of Airtable and then add them to a user. I'll explain that shortly when I go back into Make. Okay. And that's it for skills. When they click submit, they will then be redirected. Yes, the form will be submitted first, of course, to Memberstack to update their profile. And then they will be redirected to their welcome page, where they can now get access to their dashboard. This link over here has the attribute of data ms action login redirect, and that is to redirect them to the login redirect that we set at the sign up stage. Okay, so for onboarding, the scenario that works for onboarding is this one, when a user updates a profile. Looking at your scenario, you have a module at the beginning that watches for updated members. So every time a profile is updated. We then have a router over here. The second part will run if the onboarding form is submitted is for recruiters. And it essentially just checks for the company size. If it was set and it's not empty, then it will run for recruiters. Otherwise, it will run for candidates. For candidates, it will then get the member inside of Memberstack and then update that record inside of Airtable with the candidate's newly updated information. And over here, you'll be able to see that when a user submits the onboarding form, especially the skills part, all the skills are essentially sent to Memberstack, comma separated. So Zapier, comma Make, comma Webflow. Over here, we just split them up in order for Airtable to reference them correctly. So in order for Airtable to add them as multi-select options like this. So if you keep this as it is, nothing will happen, and this is just to split the skills. because we do receive them as comma separated, and Airtable cannot process these. This is why we have to split them up first. Once you save that, set it as immediate again, and then exit. You just learned how to edit the onboarding form for candidates. So in the next video, I'm going to walk you through the candidate dashboard. See you in the next one. Bye.